Project Hail Mary and the Super Mario Bros. Galaxy movie are giving audiences exactly what they've always been asking for. And now it seems like the woke era of Hollywood is finally coming to an end. Why? Well, because they're at the brink of extinction. Theaters, desperate, begging, please, we don't want to die. And now we know the recipe, we know the formula. It turns out movies made just the way they always were, well, they're still in vogue today. Get ready, folks, because the box office is about to explode under two films that may make up to 10% or even more of the entire domestic box office for the year. Mario and Project Hail Mary. We'll explain how big this could be. It's astounding. Click the like button, and here we go. Project Hail Mario is here. Folks, we told you this was going to be the big thing. This was going to be the thing that caused Hollywood to have to reconsider everything. And here we are. That Park Place covering this Super Mario Galaxy movie targets massive $350 million box office debut. Just the debut. Do you remember when they were saying, well, you know, the sequel's not going to do as well as the first? Ladies and gentlemen, there is a thirst for wholesome, non-controversial content, and the audiences are showing up in a big way. The Super Mario Galaxy movie box office projections are pointing to another massive family hit for Universal's Illumination Studio and Nintendo. According to a new report from Deadline, the Super Mario Galaxy movie is tracking towards a staggering $350 million global opening weekend, positioning it to easily claim the biggest debut of 2026 so far. And just, my gosh, how right can we be over the last few weeks, months, days, years? 175, that's a 1-to-1, just like we said it was going to be. 1-to-1 on domestic versus international.
Excluding Japan.
Excluding Japan. Oh my gosh, then this is a 400. Now, why are they excluding Japan here, Marv?
I don't believe it's opening in Japan. Just like with the last one, it's opening in Japan late.
That's because Japan has a special holiday that they want to target?
Yeah, I think so. But it's going to have a huge, massive opening in Japan.
So if you include Japan, I mean, this thing's a $400 million.
Yeah.
We can't. I know we can't. But if you did, $400 million, that's crazy.
So, you know, the original did 377 in its opening corridor, but pre-sale ticket at this juncture are outpacing the original. So we're going to see if it actually can get up to that 377 or even exceed it, you know, throughout this opening weekend, opening holiday weekend. So it is a 5-day opening corridor. But in that 5 days, Pro, when you look at what the competition has been doing this year, it's going to trounce a month's worth of Disney box office.
It's amazing.
It'd be interesting to me to see how and to what degree Hail Mary falls off, only because Mario is taking most of the large screen theaters away from it.
Yeah, but let's talk about that. So I think that Hail Mary is going to have legs with the non-family audiences. I think a lot of adults are going to keep going. Like Lauren was just saying, he's going to see it again this weekend because he's bringing his parents and his son to go see it. So Mario is going to own the family box office. I think Hail Mary is going to still perform.
I agree.
Here's the other thing about Project Hail Mary. The international box office numbers are finally coming in. And just again, folks, like we said, 1-to-1, essentially, I think it'll catch up and be a 1-to-1. Now over 300 million. This is a movie that needs 600 million to break even. After 2 weekends, you got to look at this and say, I think it can 2X the first 2 weekends.
Absolutely.
And not only that, but guess what, folks? We're getting reports now that the IMAX theaters are cutting deals with Amazon to keep Project Hail Mary in IMAX showings, not for the next week, not for weeks, but for months to come, which is a wonderful sign.
And the IMAX theaters are able to put Mario on in the daytime and Hail Mary on at night in the same screen.
That's right. Exactly.
That a regular theater can't really do too easily. So it'll be real interesting.
Now, folks, on your average everyday channel, this would be the report. This would be all they would do, this, and they move on. But not us. Nay, I say, we will go even deeper because there's something happening here with Project Hail Mario that you need to know about. Out of Axios, the 2025 box office comeback that was not Sarah Fisher, Carrie Flynn, the authors here. And this is the graph we need. Domestic box office revenue. You can see that after the pandemic, audiences did not come back. And I believe that's largely because of ideological capture. I believe that the studios started putting out the woke stuff and audiences had enough of that. And that's why we never recovered. Last year, the domestic box office totaled out at $8.6 billion. Now, we are currently looking at two films that I think could mark at least 10% of the total domestic box office for all of this year in Project Hail Mary and Mario. Two films this early combined together could be 1/10, 10% of the entire domestic box office for the year. And both of them are distinctly non-divisive, non-controversial, non-woke, pro-universal themes and storytelling and heroes like you believed in. Culture, I think that audiences are forcing Hollywood to change. And I think that depending on how badly movies down the road go, these two films may be even more important for the box office.
Well, I think that's true. Look, I mean, you have to be successful. You have to make movies that make money. Hollywood has had a dearth of performers recently, and everything's underperforming. So they've had to pivot. Now, Nintendo had already created the pivot. They have a culture, live in a different culture than we do here in the States. Japan has definitely some belief systems that essentially line up more with traditional Western values. But I suspect very strongly that with the success of obviously Project Hail Mary, with these two movies doing what they're about to do, that's exactly what's happening. And you know what? I much appreciate it. I think it's extraordinary.
One more point. I keep talking about lead time and about how there's a lot of crap in the system still to be shuffled through. I want you to think about the fact that these movies had lead time too. So these are people that saw the trend coming or just believed in the right stuff to begin with and got way out in front of their peers by a couple, 3 years, and good for them.
Yeah. And Nintendo and Andy Weir seem to have figured this out. Jonas, you back in the day started a channel called Everything Woke About, and you've been tracking just how badly audiences hate the kind of content that Hollywood was making for a decade. This is a return to form, and obviously the audience never went away. The theaters didn't have to die. This is the game plan going forward. If you want to make a lot of money, if you're Hollywood, give us Top Gun Maverick, give us Godzilla -1, give us Mario Galaxy, give us Project Hail Mary. What say you, Jonas?
Right. Well, so the basic gist, I can't speak for all families. I can only speak for my family. If we know that a movie's clean, we'll take the whole family. Unfortunately, Disney did this thing where they weren't so sure whether or not it was no longer a given that Disney's content was going to be family friendly. So all of a sudden, all of those opening weekend numbers that would have come from people that have the same philosophy as me, and I don't know how large that market is, but you could theorize that it's a pretty large portion of the market based off of how much Disney has struggled. The kind of people that actually care about what their children consume are not going to Disney movies opening weekend. I think that there's actually a greater significance on the second weekend for films than there used to be after there's confirmation that this stuff isn't woke garbage. Now, I say woke garbage. Sometimes there's just a little speck of it, but who wants a turd in their brownies, right? Let me get one more thing out.
Yeah, go ahead.
With Project Hail Mary, the only objectionable thing in that movie is they say the Lord's name in vain like 6 times, and that's it. I'm not saying that I'm for that, but as far as Hollywood movies go, that's nothing.
There you go.
We might also speculate in our what ifing. What if they never went down the woke road? What difference would that make to companies like AMC and all the other movie chains in the last 5-10 years? And thus to the food courts, and thus to the stores in the malls, and thus to the entire infrastructure of all of that. I mean, without those movies, anyway.
Well, I'm with you. The whole ecosystem falls apart around these theaters.
Yeah, and that extends, okay? Because we've been talking about how gaming went into failure mode around the same time, and it's an easier pivot for gaming to go back and just recreate cutscenes and do a few other like elements during the course of game production to fix. So if Hollywood never went down the woke road, the biggest entertainment enterprise is video games. They wouldn't have gone down the woke road. So I think that it would have made a giant difference culturally in that there wouldn't have been this massive, effort to disassociate from reality that happened in the two largest entertainment-driven business, they're financially driven businesses, but the cultural businesses wouldn't have been driven the wrong direction, I guess is what
I'll give you one more. There aren't massive press junkets for video games. So when you have the actors getting out there and making sure the audience knows how great they are for every single bit of ideology they put into these films, I think that actually has hurt a lot of movies.
I want to go to Ron on this. Ron, if we look at Project Hail Mary and how it's performed, take a look at the numbers right now, 300 million. And Ron, I think the mic's pretty darn hot or something. Something's going on with audio somewhere. But if we look at the box office, we're at $300 million on Project Hail Mary. It seems that it's absolutely going to do 75, even with this next weekend. So with 350 from Mario, 75 global coming in from Project Hail Mary as a minimum, we're looking at 425.
I mean, look, it comes down to the fact that they are making a really, really good movie with a really, really good story for general audiences, not general as in rated G, but general as in, you know, it touches everybody without offending you know, people because of certain ideologies specifically, you know, highlighted. And that's what you want when you go to the theater. And, you know, I was going to say something. Look, you talk about the woke road. I mean, it all started back in the 2010s because there were, I think, certain projects out of Hollywood where they started kind of as woke properties. And because those projects gained an audience, they thought, okay, well, now that we've got this ideology out there, we can start injecting it into things that people already loved. And when you got it to things like Willow, the television show, oh my gosh, it's like you don't understand. You have a built-in audience for this that already loves something, and you're just going to kill it. It was ridiculous. And obviously I'm using Willow as an example because it was so bad that they literally had to pretend now that it never existed in the first place. And I loved the original Willow film. Yeah, I know Coach wants to say something.
No, I just want to reference Marv because he's the one that has been all in on this idea that Hollywood just took all these IPs and then wore each of them as a skin suit to cover over, you know, the wokeness, right, Marv?
Well, it's I have to take this thing that people love and make it about me, because then the thing that they love will be about me and it validates my existence, because it's why we've seen a push away from traditional heroes who are just good. It's why all of our heroes are now nihilistic, you know, terrible, you know, pieces of garbage, because the people that are writing them are nihilistic, terrible pieces of garbage, and they have to justify the fact that they've chosen to be nihilistic pieces of garbage.
They don't believe in a happy future. They don't believe in optimism. They don't believe in people.
But I mean, when you look at results, when you look at what people are actually going to see, when you look at what the box office is actually doing, in a 5-day corridor, a 5-day holiday corridor, the Super Mario Galaxy movie is going to overtake the entire month-long run of Hoppers. Hoppers is currently at 298 million. So let's round up, say 300. It maybe we'll get another couple of million during the holiday. You know, maybe we'll get to 310, something like that. This is going to hit 350. Project Hail Mary caught up to it in 2 weeks and lapped it. Project Hail Mary is now above it.
Yeah.
So, and that's the movie that the Hollywood Access Media is trying to tell you is a hit.
That's right. Hoppers. Oh, Disney's back in form. Pixar's back, baby. Can't even make 300. Okay, folks, you know what's happening here. You know that the audience, the market, that's you. You've won. And Hollywood is scrambling to figure out how to have undone the decade that they done did. Helping Hollywood produce a product that you want to consume. That's what we do each and every day, folks. And this time, it's time to, well, say goodbye. We know, but don't cry. No, for we will have more videos on the way. We love to bring those videos and that information. And by the way, if you'd like even more, consider going to the Patreon page. It's www.patreon.com/WDW Pro. It's where we put out stuff exclusively there that we simply can't put out and other places for whatever reason, be it because it's too spicy or because, well, perhaps we're working to corroborate it. But you can find out things early and first over there. Folks, we surely have had a great time spending time with you. Consider clicking that like button, share, subscribe, click it, and stick it to those pesky algorithms. It is the notification bell, and drop a comment right on down below. Until the next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep having fun.